The following contest is the Royal Rumble match. Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start in the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
All right, folks, we've heard the rules. It's time for another Royal Rumble here on the Great Simulation Do-Over. Not officially affiliated with Post Wrestling. I imagine that's for John and Way's protection. Number 1. Man, it's going dangerous going back in time, but we have the strings of whatever, but Our Lady Peace run through the speaker system. We've got the Canadian Crippler. He is for real. He is Chris Benoit making his way to the ring. Number 1 spot in a different timeline. This also occurred. But what is going to occur in this moment here tonight? What happens in this timeline? A timeline where Chris Benoit is actually a little bit further ahead of where he was in his WWF career at that point. And now we've got Dead Man walking on the motorcycle. Here comes Big Evil. Here comes Big Red. Here comes Booger Red. It is Undertaker. What was your thoughts on the American Badass version of Undertaker? I couldn't stand it, but I'll say this, after simming this for about, I don't know how many years now we've done of storyline sims, 16? I was ready for a refresh on the Undertaker character. That's for sure. Now, my own wrestling fandom was a little bit hit and miss over this time. I missed the Attitude Era, which is weird. I was a fan before. I lost interest in the new Attitude Era, and then came along and sort of got reintegrated somewhere in just past the Invasion angle. And that's my story of my fandom. So I miss a lot of this era's Undertaker. I did see the Nathan Jones WrestleMania match. I was aware of the Ric Flair angle. So I'm sort of middling around WrestleMania 18. But this version of Taker is not really my wheelhouse, so to speak. But the fans are up for it, and here we go. We got Benoit, we have Undertaker. That's a strong opening too. Where do we go from here? Back body drop from the Dead Man. Is he still the Dead Man? I think he called himself a Dead Man as like a moniker at this point. But Taker has Benoit. Has him in, what's that, a dragon sleeper? But Benoit, he's fighting out. He's not going to let himself be subdued. But the clock counts down. 1 and... oh, is he going to raise his arms in the entrance? It's the father of Jimmy and Jey Uso. The third member of Too Cool. It is Rikishi. In this timeline, he's done nothing for The Rock. In this timeline, he's done nothing for the people. He's just Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi with some body blows to the Dead Man. Benoit stalks him. Benoit stalks the Dead Man. Undertaker with a kick to the face, but Rikishi interrupts it one more time. Who's the 4th man into the fray? We've got Matt Hardy. I will be updating the character models once we hit WrestleMania and I port over to WrestleMania 2K24. This is the last Rumble I'll be doing on 2K23. Overall, 2K23 served myself and the little simulation that could. All right. I really quite enjoyed it. It was easy to use. The servers were all right. If we could just get rid, the new version still have that frustrating 100 created wrestler limit, still have that frustrating 1,000 image limit. No real reason for either of those things, but the clock counts down to 1. And we've got, from the Radicals, we've got Perry Saturn. Never really got Perry Saturn myself. I was a little bit of a WCW guy. I lived in Phoenix for a year in 2000 and went and saw a Nitro taping. It was also the only free wrestling I could get on my TV was WCW Nitro. So I was a mild WCW guy, but even then didn't get Perry Saturn. I get it. He looks mean, but there had to be more for that for me, for my money, for what's it's worth here. But back we go into the action here. No eliminations yet. Undertaker continues to work over Benoit in the corner, and then we've got Albert coming to the ring. Albert, who's just lost his tag titles to Chris Jericho and Hardcore Holly, the Millennium Men, earlier this evening. What we didn't see in a post-match angle is that Albert, despite being the one who tapped out, Albert turns on Test for saying that Test is getting too big for his britches. Without question, Test is the breakout star of that tag team, but Albert's the one who crossed him after they lost the titles this evening. Ooh, time to play. Oh, and there we go. Perry Saturn gets rid of Albert. First member out of the Rumble, and it's Albert making himself look a little bit the fool. It's been a bad night. Can he claim fatigue? Can he claim injury from his tag title loss to Chris Jericho, tapping out to the walls of Jericho? Perhaps, but Triple H really been a non-entity throughout his run. He's gotten about Intercontinental Challenger level, but it's 2001. By now, Triple H should have been a multiple-time world champion, but instead, he's sitting here firmly in the mid-card as he takes on Undertaker. Don't bite off more than you can chew, but here we have, ready for the real deal now, D'Lo Brown still in Nation of Domination gear. As I said, we'll be changing the ports for all the wrestlers as we move over to WWE 2K24. Taker gets Perry Saturn over the rope. He's working on him, but we can see Saturn's going to come back in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it goes. Oh, you didn't know? It's time to call somebody. D-Generation X's, well, not anymore, DX, doesn't exist, but we've got Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Matt Hardy. Somewhere I missed it. Matt Hardy has been eliminated. When I do the rewatch to put the video together, I'll have to go ahead. Oh, Saturn throws over Undertaker. Oh, Road Dogg's out by Chris Benoit. There's a lot of stuff going on. Road Dogg, who's had a quite a successful run with K-Quick lately, but has been eliminated from the Royal Rumble match, and Perry Saturn out to prove me wrong. Me saying I don't get this guy, trying to work over the dead man, but I think Taker's going to bring it back as Chris Benoit hits not one, not two, but a hat trick of German suplex. No, he's interrupted on the third one by Triple H. Triple H and Chris Benoit. Hey, we're starting to put some programs together for WrestleMania 17. This Rumble will have a lot to do with what some of those matches look like. Could we see Undertaker and Triple H at WrestleMania 17? That sounds like a good place to start. Number 10. I don't think, by that, I think it no, it did give me the correct one. Excellent. I've got the Good Father here. Oh, Undertaker emphatically eliminates D'Lo Brown. And the Good Father, right for Rikishi Fatu. They've been feuding. Too Cool and Right to Censor have been feuding. And Rikishi with a pile driver to the Good Father, right off the cuff. A great heat idea, the Right to Censor. I'm not sure they pull it off in application is the problem. 2-1, number 11. He's a brand new tag team champion this evening. Partner of the Millennium Man. The other Millennium Man, Chris Jericho, but Triple H just gets rid of Rikishi. And Benoit gets rid of the Good Father. We are trimming the fat, pardon the reference, as we're down to 5 in the ring now. But we still have number 1, Chris Benoit, number 2, Undertaker, still in the ring. Undertaker with a snap suplex to Hardcore Holly. Irish whips him to the corner. Meanwhile, Taker gets himself out of trouble in the northwest corner. And Benoit now taking over with the Hardcore. Oh, Dean Malenko, the Radicals. Will Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko team up? Will there be, I think that's Hardcore Holly gone by Chris Benoit. Yes, I can confirm that. Hardcore Holly has been eliminated by Chris Benoit. We're back to still just 5 men in the ring, but number 1, Chris Benoit, number 2, Undertaker, they still exist. I'm going to get rid of that pesky little warning there. And we count down again from 10 seconds. A lot of action early on in this Royal Rumble. I don't even know what number we're up to right now. 13. We're making a good move. And 13, I don't know how he ended up actually in the roster, if I'm being honest. I've made a mistake here somewhere. But Macho Man Randy Savage hits the ring, only newly lost his WWF Championship. The Macho Man Randy Savage to The Rock only 20 minutes earlier. But here we are, the Macho Man Randy Savage in the Royal Rumble. I've clearly made a mistake. 6, 5, 4. Whose spot has Savage taken? Stay tuned. Number 14, Quoth the Raven. Nevermore. Is it going to default to... No, it is the more recent Raven. That's a good thing. And I think, did Benoit just get a little... No, it's not Benoit. Who's that? Dean Malenko has been eliminated, I think, the last moment there by Raven. I think. All right, we're about, 10 minutes into this Rumble here. And we've got 6 men in the ring. Dean Malenko, Raven, Macho Man Randy Savage, Undertaker, Chris Benoit, Triple H. And at 15, he came up short for the Intercontinental Championship. Whew. I don't know how we're going to make Kurt Angle a thing. It feels like the clock is ticking now. But those three eyes, they show up. We're at the midway point with Kurt Angle. What does he call himself? The only real gold medalist in WWF history. Here we are. But Macho Man instantly going for Angle. We're at the halfway point of the Rumble. We still have Benoit from number 1. We still have Undertaker from number 2. Outside of that, everybody else seems fairly recent. I'd say the most recent guy beyond that is probably Triple H. Number 16, William Regal. Down to the ring. Not that long return to the WWF. He's not a man. He's not a man's man. He's William Regal. All the way here at number 16. But Benoit, will he get his hat trick of Germans off? Yes, Triple H leaves him alone this time. He gets the hat trick of Germans off. All right, we've got, hey, we're halfway through. I've done a few of these now over the years, and the fact that Taker and Benoit are both still here from 1 and 2 is saying something. It's a slightly weighted lottery, but I have no idea who's coming out really beyond pick 12. Pick 12. I know the first 12. I know who gets 1. I know who gets 2. There's some math involved for 3 through 12, but after that, it's all up in the air. I know who the wrestlers are. I don't know what order they're coming out in, though. Got to keep things a bit fun for the guy pushing the buttons over here. We've got Triple H doing some sort of a shin breaker on wrestling's most boring man, Perry Saturn, as Benoit shoulder breakers. Who is that? Is that Dean Malenko? It might be Dean Malenko. No, it's William Regal. Sorry, William Regal. Raven tries to get rid of Kurt Angle. What a great pairing of personalities and characters they are. Oh, something maybe should have been done there. Triple H, though, is gone. Is gone. Wrestling's most boring man, Perry Saturn, eliminates Triple H. Meanwhile, the last ride from Taker to Raven. Nevermore. Oh, it's all action here. It's all action as Kurt Angle now starts trading fists with maybe some more technically inclined to where he comes at things. But nope, let's just go ahead with the greatest striker. At least so he said. I never really bought the Undertaker strikes. Am I alone in that? It always looked like he was playing UFC fighter. I just didn't believe it. It's not Shane McMahon, but it's not really all that positive from my perspective. All right, so here we go. We've got Raven and Chris Benoit. Raven with a belly-to-belly. Atomic drop from Savage to Angle. Savage trying to go back after his world title at WrestleMania. Cinderella story at Armageddon 2000. But here comes from the Acolyte Protection Agency. His partner lost earlier tonight in a count-out to Christian. What can Farouk do here? And he's going for the Undertaker. That is a big statement here. What does that look like? WrestleMania 7. Oh, and there's Regal. Regal eliminates Savage. He will not be going back to back. What a nice WrestleMania program that might be. And Regal now goes after Angle. Regal eliminates Angle. So Savage and Angle in a matter of moments. for William Regal. Oh, and now the one they call Billy Gunn. He's an ass man, but we've definitely got, he might be in over his head. He's swimming with the sharks now. We still have Chris Benoit from number 1. We still have Undertaker from number 2, but is Farouk going to change that? He's got Benoit. He's got him up. Benoit's fighting. It's been a long time, though. It's been, he elbows his way out. But meanwhile, we got Billy Gunn going for Raven. That's not successful yet. He's kicking at him underneath. Oh, he gets him. He gets him underneath the bottom rope there. Wow. And then in comes, hey, he's one of the hottest guys in WWF. He could easily be the number 1 contender for No Way Out. It's Eddie Guerrero. Oh, on an absolute tear since he and the rest of the Radicals joined the WWF. Chris Benoit, his fellow Radicals running mate, is in the ring. Oh, and they're actually facing off here. Benoit recently did leave the group in some capacity, but I didn't think we were here. But Benoit just eliminates Guerrero. Guerrero is such a hot that is astounding. What happens as a result of that? I'm sitting here talking about how there's no Benoit and Guerrero, maybe they work together. But what do we hear instead? We see Benoit eliminate Guerrero almost instantly. Razor Ramon. Don't call him Scott Hall. Razor Ramon in the Rumble at 21. Now we're looking at the chance of, here's the people who really have a chance to be there at the end. And those people, they still include, for the time being, number 1, Chris Benoit, number 2, Undertaker. I'm just standing behind a microphone watching this all happen. There's nothing with me involved in this as, you think you know him. It's Edge. It's Edge in at 21. I mean, this is a big moment for the young Canadian. He goes to try to eliminate Ramon, who just steps aside. Out of here with that. Oh, and Ramon makes it look easy, eliminating William Regal. Edge goes back, but then he encounters Farouk. Their partners went at it today, earlier on. Count out, not very satisfying if I'm being honest. But Edge and Farouk continue their tag team feud here inside the Rumble match. Number 22, don't call him Meng. That's the return. WCW World Champion just 1 week ago. That is Haku here. Vince McMahon promised us there would be a main event shakeup here in the World Wrestling Federation. It doesn't get much more shaken up than the man who held the big gold belt at the competition just 7 days ago. That is Haku. That is the hardest man on the island. Haku. Back in the WWF, it would seem. Haku takes on Farouk. And if you're going to prove you're the hardest man on the island, there's not a bad way to go about it than taking on Farouk. In the corner, Edge now going after Razor Ramon. Bit of old lion, young lion. Number 23, the Hall of Famer. Get ready, you sweat hogs. We've got ravishing Rick Rude, a man whose career was cut short due to injury, but has made a miraculous comeback, and his second run has really just about, I'm not gonna say it's eclipsed his first run, because that's a former world champion we got in the ring in Ravishing Rick Rude. That is the man who won the tournament at WrestleMania 4. 13 years later, he's still here, a main player in the Royal Rumble match, as we head towards finding out who will stand on one side of the ring at WrestleMania 17. Oh, Edge is going to be taken out and look. Oh, hang on. Someone's gone out over the north side of the ring. Oh, Undertaker. Was that Haku? I think Haku eliminated the Undertaker, and Farouk is out thanks to Chris Benoit. So Undertaker, number 2. I think it was Haku. I will check the footage on that one. I know it was an Irish whip, so it's a bit harder to sort of quantify. But there we go. Haku and Taker. That seems like if Haku's unsuccessful, that seems like a program, is what that seems like. Meanwhile, we did see a Razor's Edge from Ramon to Edge. Rather fitting. We had a Razor and an Edge in the Razor's Edge. Look at that. But Chris Benoit, number 1, is still in the ring. I think we're waiting for number 24 to hit the ring. I think. Edge has just clotheslined someone under. I was fixing the PlayStation controller, but he's got Rude. Oh, and Benoit has just eliminated. Yes, that's Haku. Benoit's eliminated Haku. And someone, I think it might have been Edge, got rid of Billy Gunn on the bottom side. It could have been Benoit, I don't know, but Kane. Oh, Kane. It's late in the day. Kane has won a Royal Rumble before. Kane knows what it's like. Kane won the Royal Rumble, in fact, last year. Kane didn't get a one-on-one. Kane was part of a Four Corners match at WrestleMania 2000. Does Kane get a one-on-one spot? We have had confirmation this year that it is cemented. It will be a one-on-one match. Edge looked to make Kane's night a little bit shorter. 25, break the walls down. It's Canada's own Chris Jericho. We have Canadians in the ring as far as Jericho, Edge, and Benoit. 3 out of the 6 come from Canada. Kane's from parts unknown. Ramon is from, Miami, Florida. And Ravishing Rick Rude is from Minnesota. And Ravishing Rick Rude, I don't care where he's from, it's where Chris Benoit is going. Chris Benoit makes it from number 1 all the way to, what was that, 2020, the 25th entrant was Chris Jericho. And there we go, number 26, who has just lost his Intercontinental title. Oh, what happens now when you've got X-Pac? Can he go from never being pinned in the triple threat to the main event of WrestleMania? Kane throws X-Pac over the top rope. I like that combination. It feels like they've got a real X factor about him. Ramon with a running bulldog on Rick Rude. Number 27, I can hear the message board groan. Hello, ladies. Or not, because it is Val Venus, refined customer, I suppose, refined individual. He's joined the right to censor. He's not in white trousers, he's in black trousers. Give a guy a break. I'm not good at modifying created wrestlers. Nor was I really watching it this time, so I didn't realize I saw some pictures. Haven't made it back yet. If he makes the main event, I suppose. Oh, can you imagine if he makes the main event? Number 28, Mrs. Foley's baby boy. It is Mankind. So right now as it sits, The Rock is the World Heavyweight Champion. What about a Rock and Sock connection in the main event of WrestleMania 17 in front of 50,000 fans? Oh, maybe 60,000. I don't remember the capacity at the what was the name of the stadium? Is it Houston, Texas? Is it the Astrodome? I forget. But Kane throws over Edge. We cut away, but he's gone. Kane has eliminated Edge. It's a decent performance for the young Canadian here. He's not at this level. Not yet. Speaking of not at this level, though, Chris Jericho, he was going to have X-Pac. And Ravishing Rick Rude saves X-Pac, saves his DX running mate from all those years. Wow. Razor Ramon with a razor's edge on Kane. He then picks up Jericho. He's trying to walk over to the ropes, but no, instead he'll have to do a power slam in the middle of the ring. Oh, misses wildly. Hey, Razor Ramon and the 1, 2, 3 kid. Flashbacks of relevance. Jericho is thrown over by Rude, but Rude cannot get over to follow up. Jericho skins the cat and he's back in. Oh, we got another man coming down into the ring. It's getting, what was that, 27, I think Mankind was, maybe 28? We're not done yet. Where are we at? 1. Number 29. Oh, did someone say not enough Canadians? Did you hear? Did JR tell you he used to be a bodyguard for Motley Crue? It's Test, the would-be Mr. Stephanie McMahon. Test. A very interesting fact. I know who's missing. It's one of 2 men. It's one of 2 men that Randy Savage has taken the spot from, playing old tricks. But Here we are, thrown into the buckle. All right, we've got, what do we have in the ring? 4, 6, 8. 8 men. We won't get into number 30 yet, so I'm sitting here building anticipation to a payoff. Oh, but there we go. We don't have to wait long. Kane's got rid of Rude. We're about to have number 30. We're about to be able to say one of these 8 men will be in the main event of WrestleMania 17. Who will it be? There's some ones I'd like. Actually, there's more that I wouldn't mind than ones that I would hate, but actually, that's not saying too much. I got a few special ones here, but Chris Jericho with a power bomb, remember when he used to do that? He's too small to do that, really. That's more when he was a cruiserweight type, against other cruiserweight types. But Canadians in the ring, let's just keep track, shall we? We've got Chris Jericho, we've got Val Venus, we've got Test, a 3 again, 1, 2, 3, but who's counting? Who's counting? All right, so Mankind picks up X-Pac. Test comes in from the side. The size difference definitely in Test's favor. Test was not pinned. Test has been white hot over the last 6, 7 months. Who's number 30? It is the Rattlesnake. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And with that, I can reveal that Macho Man Randy Savage must have taken out, it's literally his storyline rival at this time, Ken Shamrock. Mr. Stephanie McMahon. That is the oversight. That is the flummox. Savage somehow got into the ring, and X-Pac just eliminates Kane. How's that for the X Factor? I made it twice in one video. I don't care. I don't care. Val Venus. So we are now down to 7. We are down to, we've got Test, Stone Cold Steve Austin, X-Pac, Val Venus, Razor Ramon, Chris Jericho, Mankind. The Rock is the champion. WrestleMania 17. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would be highly appealing. Highly appealing. Ramon is thrown over, but no one's following up. Austin moves over to do so. He trips. Oh, Austin manhandled a bit by Razor Ramon. Austin, though, throws him to the buckle. Austin sees him over the side. No, it's X-Pac who's going to do something about it. Austin froze. X-Pac, though, working down Ramon over the side. Meanwhile, we've got Val Venus trying to do likewise to Mankind, but Mankind fights back. We still have X-Pac attacking, but Razor finally makes his way back in. Something I don't think this one does enough is you don't have enough second guys coming in with the AI and helping with the 2-on-1 eliminations. It just sort of flies in the face of logic. But Jericho picks up Venus, and now it's orbiting Earth. As there we are, and down with the vertical suplex goes the Hardcore Champion. Had the Hardcore Championship for quite some time. Been also mired in a long feud with Eddie Guerrero for quite some time. Test, meanwhile. Oh, what would it mean if Test makes it to the main event of WrestleMania? We know Stephanie McMahon was having moments with Val Venus, looking at him, wondering when he was WWF champion. What happens if Test, the former Beau, the former Flame, what happens if he's punching his ticket to the main event of WrestleMania? Oh, we've got Chris Jericho in the corner, working over X-Pac. Jericho does feel in over his head here. Test has been hot. This does feel above his kinship a little bit as well. X-Pac could be a breakout star. You got to think Jericho's had the highlight of his night, pun not intended, already. Oh, Razor Ramon, who's never won a world championship. Steve Austin, who's won 3, but only had about, 25, 30, 50 combined days as champion. He's always been about the chase, and X-Pac gets rid of Mankind the same way he got rid of Kane. Watch the kick, and over he goes. But Val Venus instantly scoops him up over to the West ropes. But no, well, not yet anyway. He continues. He's working on him with the foot. X-Pac is grabbing on with just one hand. Rick Rude's not there to save him this time, but X-Pac, Sean Waltman, manages to fight back. We are down to 6. Chris Jericho works over Test. That's a big, oh, I've just said this. And now X-Pac does come over to help Chris Jericho. It's Jericho and X-Pac, but they're unable to lift the giant frame of Test over those ropes. Val Venus with an STO on Razor Ramon. X-Pac with a neck breaker. It's everywhere and it's nowhere all at once. But there's Austin working over Jericho in the northwest corner. Austin making sure, and there we go. Austin makes short work of Jericho. A good effort from Chris Jericho to make it to the final 6. Oh, but now Jericho making his way against another Canadian. What's his deal? But Austin over with flipping fingers and dropping elbows. There we have it on the big Canadian Test. Meanwhile, Razor Ramon trying to finally get rid of that scourge. Trying to get rid of Val Venus. But instead, Venus fights back, but X-Pac is right there. He whips him to the corner. But Venus with the feet up. Meanwhile, Austin putting the boots to Razor Ramon, then picks up Test again. Irish whips him to the corner, but is taken out by a clothesline from Ramon. Test, for my money, he's the biggest guy in there. That's saying something. There's something in that. There's definitely something. Oh, and Austin removes Razor Ramon from the equation. Test, on the other hand. Oh, he gets Venus over the top rope. One of these 3 men will make it all the way to the main event of WrestleMania 17. Will it be Austin? Will it be X-Pac? Will it be Test? Oh. And then we've got X-Pac with a Hurricane Rana. Who? X-Pac would be a statement on high-flying, work rate-based wrestling. Test would be a formidable physical presence for The Rock or whoever may be champion at that time. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania 17 would be nothing short of a moment in history. And I still say that, my hands are nowhere near controlling this thing. It'll go as it goes, but man, am I hoping history repeats itself. We've got Test laying down fists of fury upon the head of Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've got X-Pac then hitting a Hurricane Rana, but then Austin comes by, and he then takes X-Pac to the ropes. Oh, and he was probably going to eliminate him, but Test had to get involved. Oh, we get down to 3. It gets a little bit bitty. Austin's a bit staggered. Gonna take a moment. No one taking advantage. Test throws X-Pac over, and Test eliminates X-Pac. Austin's still stunned. No! Test, he's trying to throw him over. Test, the big Canadian. Is he going from the tag title to the world title in one night? Austin's fighting back, but Test, he's got his feet on him underneath the ropes. Austin fights back. Oh, they suddenly realize, they take the moment, they circle the ring. Who will it be at WrestleMania? Prospectively against The Rock. Austin misses his approach. Test throws him over. Test with a big boot. It's Test. Austin made it all the way to the end, missed his approach, and Test will main event WrestleMania 17. Wow. I thought we had the storybook ending, but instead, we get Test